For the third time this month, Diepkloof residents have taken to the streets to demand improved service delivery. 3 people were arrested on Monday after clashes with police, the SAPS resorting to tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse the protesting crowds. In fact, Heidi Giokos is monitoring the situation and she joins us live in studio right now. Heidi, when we spoke to you a little while ago, you were painting the picture of the situation in Diepkloof right now. What's the latest?
Yes, so we do know that there is currently a meeting underway with community leaders in Diepkloof, and we do know government officials are part of this meeting. We're not exactly sure who is in this meeting, but we do know that a meeting was called at about 12 o'clock this afternoon. That was, of course, delayed somewhat because we do know that the MMC for public safety in the city of Johannesburg did a walkabout in the community, and I think it was imperative for him to do so, William, because we do know that yesterday there were clashes between the community and the police. Right. It was rather volatile. The community decided to block Chris Hani Road in Soweto, a very important intersection because it's the road leading into and out of Soweto. It's the same road that Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital is on, a very busy hospital and obviously a critical one, and this is where we saw those clashes. We did also hear and receive reports that there was some sort of protest action in the early hours of the morning. Sure. And that was obviously brought to a stop immediately because there was police on standby. A very worrying situation because you have people in this area that do not have ablution facilities, they do not have adequate housing, and they have never had proper electricity. They have just been connecting illegally for the longest time. And the community says it's about time that somebody addresses these issues. I want us to listen to the MMC that was there today and spoke to us afterwards about what he is planning to do about the Diepkloof hostel area.
Sure.
I believe that we have to be talking to our communities. We can't be as leaders and politicians. We're sitting in some aircon conditions. We must come and check what is happening so that we can avert any situation where people are getting shot or they are getting killed on the protest. It was very bad. I went around to find that there are very old houses that were built 3-4 decades ago, and some of them are really in the verge of actually collapsing. Some of them, they've been supported with some, markup plan, and it's very bad. There's no electricity. It's very shocking. Since 1992 up until now, this area is a forgotten area. It's very painful and it's very sad. And also, what is so surprising that there's a pit toilet. There's a pit toilet here in this area.
I cannot help but just understand what the MMC is touching on there and really the sentiment. So where you were yesterday, if you move just 2 kilometers up and you find yourself in Diepkloof Extension, those people there have all the facilities, the service delivery that the communities at the hostel are complaining about. So why the disparity? What are the community members saying?
Yes, so it's an area that's never been developed. They've just let the infrastructure dilapidate. They've never been attended to. It's a forgotten community. It's a community that has really been neglected in the past. The community members even expressed how when it's elections, political parties and government officials come and make all sorts of promises and then nothing is ever done about it. Right. And the community is indicating that this is why they've decided to continue protesting, and they will do so unless something is done about it. And it's interesting that you mention this because where you stand in the Diepkloof hostel, if you stand on the hill almost on the Chris Hani Road and you look at the hostel, just further up is what people would say a very posh area of Soweto. Yes. People would say that's the suburb of Soweto. And they obviously have electricity, they have water, it's a developed area, and this is why the community is saying, why are we not considered? Why don't we have the same? We're also human. And it's a very fair point, William, because it's a community that, I'm not sure if we can actually just take a look at this one picture here on the video wall, where you can actually see that there is literally this one hostel room is being held up. There are no bricks there at the bottom. So it just shows you that people are literally going and living in rooms, up to 11 people in one room. They don't have any sort of guidance as to when this is going to be developed. So the community saying hopefully something is done about this, and we'll have to wait and see tomorrow if that meeting with the MMC and with other government officials yielded any results, or if they're going to go back to the streets.
Absolutely inhumane conditions that people are subjected to. Heidi Giokos, thank you so much for your time. More updates from our reporters after the break. This is Today